Hello. How are we doing today? Is this still too bright? I think it's okay, probably. But let me know if that's too bright. I can change it. I had to mess with settings again because that's my life. I've chosen this life. Being a streamer just means that you have submitted yourself to changing every single setting on your laptop or your streaming device every single time you start up a stream. Hey Kettle, how's it going? I love that emote. I love that emote, and I will in fact have a little treat. So I have these little sugar candies that are like the little Studio Ghibli ones that the Soot Sprites carry around. And I'm gonna warn you all, I'm like super tired and out of it today, so this is gonna be even more nonsensical than normal. But I will eat this tiny piece of candy, and maybe it will help me wake up a little bit. I did a modeling session last night. They aren't puffed rice, they're just crystallized sugar. So it's kind of like rock candy except cute. So it's really just pure sugar, and I think the packaging said like yam starch. Yeah! Talking about star chunks. But I had another modeling session last night, which went well, but it always makes me like super tired. So I'm still super tired. And it was late in the day for me. So I also didn't sleep particularly well, so I'm really out of it. But other news we might do today, I got these little travel watercolor palettes, so we might fill that today. I don't know. We'll see how I hold up. Because one of the great things about living in my body, which is a horror zone, is that if I do any sort of physical activity, the next day or 2 days, I feel like I have the flu. There's paint right there. I can see it. So yeah, thank you for the treat. That also made me realize that I did not open my rewards queue, which I should do. This button. I remember how to do things, maybe. My laptop is chugging a little bit. I had to change some settings to get my webcam software to actually open today, which was a fun new adventure for me. You are helping, thank you. This piece that I'm playing with, I colored for the ramen toppings, and I'm realizing now I forgot to get a bag. That's fine. We can live without it. But this is for chili flakes, so I just brought out my my hole puncher, and we're just gonna punch some holes to start out, because that seems like a relatively easy thing to do. I was gonna put them all in a bag, and then I didn't bring a bag over, so we're just gonna shove them in this palette that has dry paint in it, and that'll be fine. Because I know myself, if I don't put them somewhere. Oh, maybe we aren't going to do this today. Ugh. There we go. Goodness gracious. The paper is a little bit thicker than what the hole punch was really made for. Ugh. So we can have a strong man stream to start out today, I guess. And see how long before my wrist decides to quit. Ugh. I don't know if you guys can hear that. It is very chonk. Oh, there was other stuff in here. I've ruined my own life. I know exactly what other project this is from too. That's fine. This is fine. Everything is fine. It's thicker paper, so it's easier to pick out. Yeah, it's a Crompshy boy. I know exactly what the last project was that I was doing with this too, which is one that I would like to get back to doing on stream, actually. I say back as if I ever did it on stream. Get back to and do it on stream. Those are two separate statements. Did you go where I'm asking you to? You know what? I'm just going to put these dots in our star container, because that just seems right to me. Little bits of paper, some confetti, in with our stars. Oh, diamond painting. That's fun. I haven't done those, but they look like they'd be nice. So yeah, these, I'll scrungle them up a little bit more But these will be little chili flakes on our ramen. I can remember words. My brain today is something. I say brain as if I have one. Hey stars, how's it going? I do have my wrist brace here. Yeah, that's a huge mood bean. I don't get the joy of a cat waking me up. I just have my brain to wake me up, which I guess is kind of like having a cat, except with more negatives. Because, like, yes, it causes problems and, I don't know, occasionally makes me push my emotions off the counter ledge. But I also don't get a pet anything. Yeah, I think is the mood of the day for most of us. I actually considered taking the cooldown off of the little treats today because the little treats are the only thing keeping me going today. I do also have an electrolyte beverage next to me, and I've made a rule for myself that I'm not allowed to finish streaming until I finish the electrolytes. So that I do both hydrate while I'm streaming and don't just quit 20 minutes in. Because I've done a bunch of short streams in a row and I don't like it. Exactly, Bean, exactly. Sometimes the only thing you're going for is a little treat, and that's okay because it keeps you going. I also haven't done my gratitude painting for today. I will do that in just a second. I'm on a roll with this, so I'm going to finish this little bit of paper, and then I will hydrate. I promise. I promise. Because I finally got in the rhythm of this thing, I think. Figured out how much pressure. And this is like way more chili flakes than I probably need. Oh, Artemis followed 2 hours ago. Thank you, Artemis. I didn't even notice that when I started up because I was distracted by other things. Okay, hydrating. That's what I'm doing. This is my electrolyte beverage. It does not look very exciting, but it tastes like cherries. Yeah, good on you for going and getting it drawn, but also that sucks. I'm sorry. Okay. We had a sippy. It tastes really sweet to me, which is not a great sign for my salt levels. So yeah, I only painted one side of this because I'm going to be gluing it onto the ramen anyway. But you can see our little chili flakes. And I'll just kind of wiggle them a little bit so that they aren't perfect round circles. Or maybe cut some edges off. I didn't bring my X-Acto knife out today to cut these, and I did that on purpose because I'm feeling crummy enough that I don't think I should be trying to cut things with a really sharp blade. So that was a self-care moment. We aren't going to try to slice things while we feel like our head isn't completely attached. But it's hard to hurt yourself with a hole punch, so that's fine. Yeah, we also have like a fair amount of work to do still on these, and I have other painting things I can do which are not as intensive. So we did finish these ramen bits last time before my brain decided that it was migraine time, which actually really happened at the right time, which sounds weird to say, but of the times I could have had a migraine in the past 4 days, that was the best time where I had enough time to actually recover before I had to go do work. So, we have some bok choy to do. We have some, I don't know, meat. We can call it pork. And some mushrooms. Oh yeah. This is gonna squick some people out. So if you don't like hearing about injuries, turn away. Mute me, take off your headphones, do whatever you need to do. Um, there was one time where I was holding some polymer clay and cutting, and I cut all the way through my nail and like almost took off the whole tip of my finger. Um, it was not a fun time. Yeah, it like because the blade was so sharp, it ended up not being as bad as it needed to be. Like you can tell that my nail didn't grow back funny or anything, but I cut through it, and because it was so sharp, I could just slap the bit back on and bandage it up. And I had some finger cots, which are basically like finger condom for bandaging. That's basically what it is. So I had some of those and it was fine and it healed up okay, but that was not a pleasant moment in my life. So I try to not do that anymore. And yeah, I think I've been doing a lot better at recognizing my own limits and realizing when I'm doing something that could be harmful to myself and deciding to take a different approach. So we're doing a lot better with that this year, and we're going to keep up that trend by not bringing the X-Acto knife out today. Oh, yep. Mm-hmm. Yep. God, there was one time when you're a teenager too, like you have a completely different sense of where your nerves are. The story I'm about to tell is from when I was a teenager. I used to wear flip-flops like all the time. This was back when Old Navy started doing their $1 flip-flops. Um, and flip-flops were my favorite. I hate shoes. I hate things being on my feet. Flip-flops are the closest I could be to being barefoot. Um, But the problem was my high school had a big area with a bunch of wood chips. And because it wasn't like a playground, it was like the big chunky wood chips, right? And because I wore flip-flops all the time and they were those super cheap foam ones, um, the foam compacts after a while of wearing them. And so you get like a very thin layer between you and the floor. And I had a wood chip just straight up go through my flip-flop and stab me right in the heel. And I thought it was fine. Like it hurt and I was like, that's not great. And then kept walking. And then all of a sudden my foot is slipping around in my little cheapo flip-flop, and that's because I was bleeding everywhere because it was like a lot worse than I had realized. So I got to walk home from the bus stop like that. But yeah, when you're a teenager, you have a very different sense of nerves. Like you just aren't as connected to the places of yourself as you might be later in your life. I say as I'm very delicately moving my shoulder because I'm so sore from doing stuff yesterday. But oh, yeah, that's super fun, Bean. Love that. Yeah, I did horse stuff when I was a teenager too, and I had horses step on my feet multiple times. I didn't break anything to my knowledge, but that definitely isn't comfortable either. It's just wild how different that is. So, like, I think about things I did when I was a teenager, and I'm like, how did I survive? Because I was a lot more physically fit when I was a teenager too, because I did um, yoga with one of my older friends like every Saturday. And so I was very bendy and pretty strong for how little I was. Um, but there was one time I was trying to show people how to bend back into um, like a wheel position. So you bend, I could bend all the way back so that my head was touching the ground, right? Like a full back bend. And I started doing that, and then my muscles just decided that no, they didn't really want to do that right now. So I just smacked my head super hard on the gym floor and just started laughing hysterically because I couldn't get back up. Oh no. Oh no, Bean. I'm sorry. I'm sorry for your foot. You didn't deserve that. I'm about to crunch this candy, so if you don't like that sound, be warned, I guess. I try not to do it super loud, but I feel like the mic will pick it up anyway. Um, brain function. Who is she? We just don't know. Let's grab some brushes. That seems like a good step. Yeah, I can't do that anymore. I can't even do wheel pose anymore. Because I moved to Alaska and there was one yoga studio up here when I moved up that was like accepting people into it, and it was just not the right place for me. So I just kind of immediately stopped doing any physical activity whatsoever, and now I'm old, and I haven't done like anything. I was actually just talking to my brother that I wanted to start doing Just Dance in the living room again, because that, I don't know, just working out or just running in place or whatever, I can't do that. My brain hates it. I need to feel like I'm doing something, right? I need that serotonin of something going, good job, at the end of every 2 minutes or whatever. I think I want to start with the bok choy, but I think maybe I should start with the meat because that's the one I'm most worried about. Because I'm not really 100% sure what kind of color is going to look right for this. Because we do want like a pinky, but we don't want it to be like super pink. So I think doing like a little bit of an underpainting with the pink and then doing brown and a little bit of gray over the top is going to be the right answer. Yeah, that's fair, Bean. I definitely have problems with that. Just, I don't have a great relationship with my body, I guess is the short way to put that. I grew up around a lot of women who were very into diet culture and were constantly talking about how much they hated their bodies in front of me. And I now look like they do because that's how genetics work. So I've had some rough times with that. But because I've started doing the modeling and I enjoy doing the modeling for these art classes, I would like to be able to do more things. So I want to exercise in order to do something I enjoy better, which is a lot healthier way to approach it, I think, which sometimes I don't manage that level of self-positivity. I don't know the right words for that. I think you know what I'm talking about, though. Yeah. So, like, yes, I'm old and I'm fat, and that's the way it is, and that's fine. If society wasn't, an asshole about it a lot of the time. I just tried to swish in the star bucket. That's not going to do anything for me. But I am really enjoying doing this modeling thing, but it also, like, I'm exhausted the day afterwards. And I'd like to do more classes because they need a model for more days. So if I can manage to physically do this without hurting myself, I will have a guaranteed amount of hours that would make my life easier and mean that I'm surrounded by art all the time, which is excellent. I need to do like a desaturated brown for this, I think. Let me see what I can mix up here. Maybe that will work. So I want to do, yeah, I think that's about the right color. I'm not entirely certain how to get this texture right because, I don't know, cooked meat has a specific kind of stringy looking texture, and I'm not 100% sure how to accomplish that. So this may be a bit of a task. But we will have like the crisp skin up here with the, I feel like this looks more like a salmon color so far, so I'm gonna need to darken that up a little bit. But I did take pictures of the stuff that the beginning students had drawn of me, because I'm the only art model they have right now. So the entire hallway leading down to the drawing department at the college is just drawings of me naked, which is really fun. Um, and I mean that legitimately. I think that that's really fun. So I'm just like walking down the hallway and people are looking at it and I'm like, that's me. That's me. And I did the intermediate class last night and they were hanging stuff up, but my ride was there, so I decided to just head out. So, but I'm going back next Monday, so you can look forward to this kind of vibe again next Tuesday. Let's go. Because I'll be heckin' tired. Yeah, exactly. And I think that's so cool. It's so fun. And they really have been having like a lot of problems getting people to sign up, which the hiring process was not great. I will be the first to say. Um, but the actual job itself I'm having a lot of fun with. So that's good. I just like being around art. I like art. I don't know if you knew that. I like art. Weirdly enough, the being naked part was not the scariest part of the interactions for me. Um, I'm very much that anxious person who needs to know what is expected of me so that I can practice interactions in my head. And yes, I realize I'm neurodivergent. Thank you. Uh, um, and that really was not the situation I was thrown into. So that part was really hard for me. Um, but the actual getting naked is just kind of like whatever. Because most of the time I've noticed my real issue with my body is me seeing myself. Um, like in a mirror specifically. If it's a photo, I react differently to it. But if I'm looking at myself in a mirror, that's when the big bad starts happening in my head. Um, and this has been like definitely a process to get to this point. Because I've mentioned this before, but I had a really bad depression slump right after I graduated from college. Um, like bad enough that I almost didn't survive it. Kind of bad. And I gained a lot of weight because I really wasn't doing anything except drinking too much and sitting in my bed for like 3 years. Um, and so the way that I actually look in my head does not match the way that I look in a mirror. And so that's a difficult thing to deal with. But I've gotten a little bit better at that. Like, just allowing myself to exist, even if it doesn't match what I thought. If that makes any sense at all. So I'm finally at a point where I can do this. I don't think, like, if I had tried to do this, I don't know, 2 years ago, I don't think I would have been able to. But it definitely has been a process to get to a point where I'm okay with doing that. And I think part of it also is that it's not like I'm being looked at as an object of desire, so that takes off a lot of pressure for what my body type is. Because society does not generally enjoy my shape, and that's fine. They can go fuck themselves. But being an art model is definitely very different than being like a fashion model or whatever. Because me being fat actually lends itself pretty well to doing art stuff because my folds and fat and what have you make interesting shadows that are interesting to draw and add something, you know? So like, yeah, I totally get not being capable or not wanting to do that, but I definitely wouldn't have been able to do that a while ago either, so. I love that. I love that I'm a vibe. I've worked really hard at it, and if I can help other people, I'm thrilled about it, honestly. Because I definitely have worked very hard at positivity with myself, or even neutrality. It doesn't even need to be positivity. I think I probably want to do the top of this quite a bit darker. because that's gonna have like the grill marks on it. And I do want to have the idea of a fat cap in here, which I think probably is gonna be mostly white paper with a little bit of yellow to it. Is this too bright? Can you guys see okay? It's still pretty light color-wise, but I can never really tell how bright it's actually showing up on other people's screens. Okay, cool. It is a very nice sunny day today. We've got a clear blue sky and like a foot of snow on the ground. It snowed like a ton yesterday. We're actually on winter storm warning right now, or watch, I forget which. Think that I want to let the color dry before I put grill marks on. Well, maybe. I guess I could do it with the lighter color while it's wet and then go back over it with darker. Maybe that will help. I also think this needs more on the side. I do think leaving things with a little bit of a pinker tone is going to be the right answer here. So I will continue doing that. It would also probably help if I had like saved the reference image that I had last time, but I didn't do that, so you know what? Fuck it, we ball. I do think that for some of this I want a thinner brush, so let's grab you. Try this out. To do kind of like a little bit of a streaky bit here. And I know what I want to do for my gratitude painting today, but I don't know if I'm going to get to it. Because I'm sleepy tired. But I don't think it's that big a deal, really, because I'm trying to be more chill with that challenge anyway, after doing the big boy challenge in October. There will probably also be a fair amount of neck cracking this stream. I will warn you. I'm just stiff. do think I probably will go over this one with some gel pen for the highlights too, just because to make meat look moist, you gotta get them highlights in there. And I think that's probably going to be the best way to do it. I did manage to get a fair amount of crocheting done yesterday, which is nice. My brother's been taking classes on the same campus that I'm doing the modeling, so I've just been getting a ride in with him when he has classes, so I have a little bit of time to sit around and just kind of hang out. So I brought my crochet yesterday. Just sat there and crocheted for a little while. Oh, that reminds me that I forgot to take a picture of something for people when I was there, because in the art building, which I'm very familiar with, it's the same art building that was there when I went to school and got my art minor and all that stuff. So I've hung out in the building a fair amount before. But there is a giant vagina sculpture in the main room of the art building. So I sat right next to the vagina sculpture and crocheted for a couple hours. And I meant to take a photo of it, and then I didn't. But I'm gonna be there again on next Monday, so I'll do it then. Just because, I don't know, it's funny. It's been there for ages, and it's great. I still want to know, like, what the committee was thinking when they got that. I think it was from one of the teachers who used to work there. I don't think they do anymore. But it's like, I bet I could find a picture online if I went looking, actually. But that's not as funny as me taking my own picture. But it's like just a giant wooden vulva shape that you can see through, and then just a giant stone carved clit, and it's great. I love it. There's a lot of really cool, interesting sculptures on campus. Alaska has this thing where if you build a building, you have to spend at least 1% of the building cost on filling it with art, which is great and is such a good idea, and everybody should do that. But it does mean that we get some really interesting and big art in various buildings. So I want to know who chose that. Like, who was like, yes, we will spend the 1% on this giant vagina. And I wonder how much of an argument they had about where to put it. Because it really is just like right there. You can see it through the main window. I was always surprised that they didn't stick it like next to a bathroom or something. What I should have done yesterday probably was work on writing some more. I did write a few more words for the 6-1 story that I've been mentioning, because we did the art of it. I did write more. I did it. And then I had someplace else to be, so I had to stop writing. But, you know, any progress is still progress. It is pretty, like, it's relatively close to the end. There's still, like, a climax note I need to hit, which I still haven't fully decided how I want to do that, which is why I stopped writing it in the first place. It's because I just needed to mull on it a little bit, and I still haven't fully decided what exactly I want it to be. Because I think the point of it is going to be sometimes we don't get closure, which is to write that in a satisfying way is probably going to be very difficult. But part of the point of the story, I guess if you want to call it the moral, is that we don't need to search for affection in the places that refuse to give it to us, especially when we have other places that are readily offering it to us. I guess it could be taken as a you can never go home again kind of vibe, but not quite. Hey Jess, how's it going? Are you enjoying our awful weather? I think I need to do some darker lines on meat next. I think that's our next step. Sorry to hear it. I feel like that's kind of just been your entire year too, which sucks. Yeah, fair. My brother drove me into UAA last night for the modeling stuff, and the roads were not very pretty. Although it's at least staying vaguely the same temperature, although the sun is not going to help anything. Hi, Grim. Stretchy. Oh, I'm so sore. I said so many nice things about myself earlier, and you weren't even here to hear them. Just throwing that out there. And I mentioned this at the beginning of stream. I have an electrolyte beverage here, and the rule is that I'm not allowed to end stream until I finish this beverage in order to actually force some electrolytes into me and also to stream a reasonable amount of time today. Just so that we're all on the same page. Say something nice about myself. I'll repeat something that I said earlier, which I didn't bring out my X-Acto knife to cut these out because I'm feeling crummy. And I think that using a sharp blade next to my hands when I feel like my head isn't attached to my body is not smart. So I did something that was really smart, and I took care of myself in the future by not bringing the X-Acto knife out here, so I wouldn't even be tempted to try to do it. So there. Well, bam. I also talked a lot about body positivity and neutrality already today. Don't reject, complete. That's the right button. Okay. I probably need to let this dry a little bit. But just a little bit. So maybe just chatting a little bit. Or planning what to put in my travel palette. I bought a watercolor travel palette because I'm being threatened with travel again. And at this point in my life, I cannot really afford to not bring art with me for a number of reasons. So I bought this little guy with so many slots for colors, and I need to plan it well because I won't have anything but the palette with me. So it isn't like my usual palette where if I need something I can just slap a blob on by digging through my other stuff. Dark green, you got it. Where is my things? Ugh. Everything is a mess all the time because I'm just like that. I'm just a little gremlin who was forced to exist. I'm gonna make that everybody else's problem. I think this is the darkest green that I have. I don't have like a super dark green, but I do have like this green, which is gonna show up a little brighter on camera probably, but it is a little bit darker than that in real life. The darkest color I really have is black, which is not a shock. Well, I guess I have a dark blue too, but all right. And this paper is a little bit thicker, which means it makes bigger stars, which is fun. Have a little bit of size difference in there. Oh, my head hurts. My neck has been driving me bonkers, and I did a pose last night where I turned my head really far, and I was like, this is fine. And then a minute in, I was like, this is not fine. This was a mistake. Which is just kind of how it works. But it has been bugging me more than normal lately. All right. A star for stars. Also, my fingernails have been like a nightmare lately, and it's driving me bonkers. Boop. Into the jar it goes. Oh, I should redeem that. I'm even thinking about it. I don't know that I have the brain power to actually think about what I should put in this palette today. I know some things, like I want my warm gray and my cool gray for sure. And there's like, I probably don't have as many colors as I have slots in this. But I also will want to make a map like I did for the at-home palette, so that I know what I actually have on there. Thinking ahead, thinking things through, nah, let's not. I also have two of these. I thought that it said it was a two-piece set, and I thought that it meant that it came with this, and it came with the little clip to hold it open. And I thought that meant two pieces. That's not what they meant. I have two of them. So if I mess one up, I guess I can use a second one. I could do the same thing in both and bring them both with me. I don't know. Doesn't hurt to have an extra, I guess. And I do have a watercolor sketchbook that's a good size. Not the same size as this, it's a bit bigger. That I bought with the intention of using it like a watercolor sketchbook and then promptly did not do that. Because, I don't know. It's just one of those things where you buy a journal or whatever and you're like, I'm going to get it all together this time, and then you don't. You know how it goes. I'm sure of it. I'm sure that I have amassed a group of journal junkies in my chat. I'm sure of it. We know how to sniff each other out. I also just think that's kind of a neurodivergent thing, where it's like if you get the right planner, suddenly you'll actually be a functional human, according to everyone else's standards. I think I want to do something for the fat, but I'm not 100% sure what. Hi, Artemis! How's it going? And yes, I do. I live here in the tundra. It is especially looking very tundra-esque outside today. We've got like that clear blue sky and a bunch of snow everywhere. I see you, magpie. I see you. There's a magpie in the tree in my front yard. And I think it's the same one that's been flying at my bedroom window to scare me on a regular basis. This is my nemesis. I'll have to take a picture once I get off stream, well, if it's not all the way dark yet, because it is very pretty out today, even if it's like not comfortable. Not comfortable? That's not what I mean. What do I mean? I don't know. Pigeon will do that. They may not be like the smartest creatures in the world, but they sure do want to go for something. Yeah, I think this is the right color mix to portray the fat layer. This is good. Yeah, I don't know. Free pigeons, I guess. I don't know. Magpies, though, they're mean. Or at least the ones around here are. Big Bean likes pigeons. This is a known fact. I'm horrified of birds. They scare the living daylights out of me. I should really set up a new Ko-fi goal, because I finished the last one. I need to decide what my next target is. Probably a computer. That would probably be the smart decision. But that also involves a lot of research. And research scares me sometimes. With tech stuff, I just really don't know what I'm doing. And I have somebody who's willing to help me, but I don't want to be like going in without knowing anything. You know? Thank you, Loud Airplane. That's very helpful of you. Parrots. What kind of parrots? Parrots are super smart. And that's scary. Okay, I think I'm pretty happy with that looking like fat, actually. I think I accomplished that. It doesn't look super different on camera, though. It's subtle. It's subtle. Yeah, fair. All parrots are loud. But one of my parents' friends growing up, they're still friends, but I haven't seen her in a while. She has parrots, and as previously mentioned, birds scare me. They scare me. They freak me out. And one of her parrots just absolutely loved me, and would always sit on my shoulder and preen my hair whenever I came over, which is very nice. It's a very nice parrot thing to do. And I would just be sitting there absolutely sobbing silently because I was so scared, but I didn't want to freak the bird out. But she also had an African gray, which are like the undisputed champs of smart birds. And the African gray had figured out a variety of sounds to use to cause the most amount of mayhem in the house. So she could do the fire alarm, she could do a door ringing, she could do the faucet turning on, she could do the beep for the oven, like the oven timer. And yeah, difficult to live with, especially since she was in an apartment. That adds an extra amount to the loud bird situation. All right, have a good dinner. Okay. Oh yeah. Yeah, it was definitely a lot. And if she was displeased with like the amount of treats she was getting or whatever, she would cause a little mayhem as a treat. It was definitely a thing. And African greys live for freaking ever. She hadn't had the African gray as long as the one that really liked me. The parrot that really liked me was named Poppy and was one of those green ones, the littleish ones. The thing that you think of when you think of a parrot, if it's not a macaw, is what Poppy was. I don't remember the right name for them. She also had a zebra finch. Well, that's delightful, Bean, and you better accept them snuggles. I really hope we can get another cat soon. I miss having a little creature. Although, I really need to get my studio set up before we can do that, so I'm not leaving dangerous heavy metals out where Cat can get them. As it should be. What's wild is every single day since we had to put Jack down is the longest I've ever lived in my life without a pet. It's the longest I've ever lived without him, actually. We had our cat Jack, we had from the time when I was 11 until a couple years ago, which is just wild to me. He was ancient. He was like 21 or 22 when we finally had to put him down. It was the year that we had that big heat wave up here. 2018, maybe? If I'm remembering correctly. I might not be. Yeah, I like having a little creature, and my mom was definitely always very into having pets. She grew up with a lot of dogs because my grandma and my grandpa both did dog breeding and showing and stuff like that, obedience training, that kind of stuff. So, yeah, for sure. I had rabbits that were mine, like I was the one in charge of them and everything. For a while, they lived for a solid 10, 11 years, which is long for a rabbit. One of them really didn't like me. She was a rescue, and she'd had a hard life before I got her, and you could definitely tell. But she had a safe place here. So yeah, Wash on the other hand. So my rabbits were named Wash and Zoe, which is a Firefly reference, because the plan was to bond them so that they could share a cage, and that is not how it went down. Um, Zoe was very much not interested. And at one point, Wash ended up with a chunk out of his nose because he wouldn't listen to her, basically. He was not reading the signs correctly. But Zoe, before I had gotten her, was at the animal shelter, and it was pretty clear that she had been a meat rabbit. Her name was Stew, and then they discovered she was a girl, and then she was called Stewette. And she was always really ear shy. One of the ways that people pick up meat rabbits is picking them up by the ears. And she really hated anybody touching her ears. So it was like super clear that she had been in an environment where she was getting her entire weight lifted up by her ears on a regular basis. And she was not a small rabbit. She was a big girl. But so she wasn't very fond of people, which fair. So she at least landed in a home where people respected her boundaries, you know. So I never touched her ears unless she asked me to, and that was very rare. But sometimes the best you can do with a rescue is just give them some place where their boundaries are respected. Wash, on the other hand, was my little baby boy. He would ride around in my sweatshirt a lot of the time. He just wanted to sleep in my shirt. I think there's still a GIF on Tumblr of him doing that in one of my zipped up hoodies. Yeah. A lot of rabbits end up in bad situations because people think of them as easy pets, but they really aren't. They're just like any other pet. They have their own requirements, and unfortunately a lot of pop culture has given people the wrong idea about what requirements those are. I still feel like this is lacking something, and I'm not 100% sure what. I can speak words. I may just be being weird about it because I've been staring at it. I think maybe I need to deal with the back line a little bit more, just to differentiate the pieces. So that would be a whiter shadow. Let's try that and see how we feel. Maybe. I have been using pretty warm colors just for meats. Maybe I should do a little bit of Burnt Umber and Payne's Gray. That will do well for the shadows to cool it down a little bit. We do have a fair amount of cooler colors going on. We've got a lot of green that's going to happen. So overall, it'll be good. These are for people who didn't know. These are ramen toppings. So we have a bunch of them going on. For my redo for the ramen shop prompt, because I was really not happy with how the first one turned out. So we're redoing it with a little bit more knowledge and some more time. So I already have some eggs done, which do have a little bit of cooler grays in the whites, and some spring onions, and we'll be adding some bok choy in here too. But what I'm going to do is finish these and then cut them out and put them on the ramen background. Which I think I'm going to redo that, but maybe off stream. I think maybe I just need to darken the shadows, and that's what's weirding me out because I do like a very high contrast in my shadows. I do think I will go over the grill marks in a deeper black too. That's a little bit better. And I'd really like it if my body would just like stop being a jerk for a little bit. That would be nice. Probably gonna end up taking more cold meds tonight. Try and head this off at the pass, so to speak. I think that's a little better. I do want to add some more dark to the grill marks. Excuse me. I probably should have planned out the grill marks a little better, but you know what? We're already here. It's fine. I do also want to add some higher highlights with a gel pen, which I think will help a little bit too. Maybe I want to go back over the meat texture with a little white gouache. To give it that glistening moistness. Brush. That's what I want. Good! I'm so proud of you, Jess. Oh, that would be a cool command to add, actually. Do like a get a reward kind of a command, like get a medal. Once I get an actual computer, I could make it so that like a little medal appears on stream when you redeem it. I can't do that right now because of laptop limitations, but thoughts for the future. Just add a little bit in here too. House, why did you make that noise? Are you okay? You having some trouble with the temperature change? I mean, me too. I can't judge. All right, I think that is recognizably meat. So that's good. I think it also helps me in general today that I don't have the bright light on for the camera. I should get a better light for that, really. Oh, we have some cloud cover now. Maybe there's going to be more snow. I do also think that I should put on my wrist brace at this point in time, because it's starting to get a little bit sore. Whoa. Whoa. Is it the plague? Or is it just a surprise thing with your ex? Oh. 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 That's a threat early on in the week. That's a little scary. I want to add a little bit of black at the bottom here. Because you grill a meat on both sides, you know. Oh, was it? I didn't even know. I'm so disconnected from what's happening with ASD anymore. That's wild. The roads have been like bad, which isn't just the weather's fault, if you catch my drift, but it's almost like if you just give a contract to somebody you know, it might not have the work happen best. That's a really bad sentence. It's just let it go. But if you live here, yeah, you know. If you know, you know. But at least it's just as bad as it was last year. Nothing has changed. All right. I think that's good. I think I'll probably go back over it once it's dry and add a little bit of gel pen. But for now, I think that's good. And it's time to move on to the things that I'm less scared of. Some bok choy and some mushrooms. And then those are all the ramen toppings that I have planned. I do still need to do my gratitude thing for today. Which I realize now that I have not set up a command for still, which isn't really that big a deal. It's fine. What else? I feel like there was something else I was going to do today and I'm forgetting what it was. Oh, it was working on one of the color and focus projects. That's what it was. I remember a little bit. Okay, I think I want to start with mushrooms first. Because I can. And it also uses some of the similar colors to the meat, so. Don't ask me what kind of mushrooms these are. I looked at a photo and I was just like, those look good, and then I made it up from there. I'm not a mushroom expert. I just know how to put them in my mouth. Yeah, mushrooms are so cool. They're just funky little guys. Really fun guys. Ha. 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 I did promise puns. Bad puns. So there you go. There's probably a gill pun in there too, if my brain would function. But alas. Exactly. Fun guys. Packed to the gills with good times, maybe? I don't know. Somebody else make that work. Oh, I probably, if I was thinking it through, I would record some of this with my phone so that I had content for the next week. Because I've been milking that fan for all it's worth this week. So let's do that. Let's set up my phone and record on so many devices at once. Do I have my tape out here? That's such a mood. That is such a mood. Actually, maybe this will work. Oh, my tape is literally right there. I'm just not with it. To be fair, oh my gosh, my voice. Please, please, please stop. I'm trying to do something. I'm just recording it to my phone, so it's not as bad as you might think. Does that work? How's that? Oh, I should actually put it in the video frame. That would help. All right, as long as I don't move this too much, this will be fine. So we are once again recording on 2 devices at once. But it's just so much easier to just have one kind of big video and edit it off of my phone, where I don't need to worry about the music that's getting recorded through the stream. Because that stuff is just, it makes me so mad to deal with all of the music stuff. That's like the part that really gets my goat, is having to deal with that level of copyright stuff. Because not last week, but the week before last. Was it the week before last? I don't know what time is anymore. I had 2 videos of mine taken down from various places because music rights had changed. Even though I had done the proper thing of using the music through the apps and blah, 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 blah. And so 2 of my videos were taken down, and I was just like, cool, thanks guys, thanks for nothing. This is the worst, and I hate you, and I hate the world that we live in. Great. And like, I could re-upload them with different music, but like, also, why would I do that? Annoying. Just very much over. I guess I could just end the sentence there. I'm very much over it. I was gonna say, I don't know, maybe something a little bit more complex about the state of social media and how I need to follow a whole bunch of different sets of rules that are ever shifting and confusing, but I can also just say I'm tired of it, because that's true. Just had a moment of panic where I was like, did I not actually hit record on that? I did. It's fine. I have been doing very good at the social media lately, so I'm proud of myself for that. Even if I don't want to, I'm still playing the game. I do need to start looking at markets, though. That's the next goal, I think, is to actually sell at an in-person market up here, which will involve a fair amount of preparations in a variety of ways. But I think that's probably the best bet for being an artist, which is the goal. I think Twitch stuff has been going really well too, so thank all of you for hanging out and supporting me and all that stuff. We've been on a very steady upward trend here, and so I appreciate all that support too, for sure. Don't get it twisted, but I think I need to start raking in those tourist dollars. I think that's the next dealio. Unless I suddenly become a furry. Those are like the 2 big, the big money draws that I could do from here, is either tourists or furries. Yeah, so I'm thinking that I want to try and find somebody else who is interested in having a booth at like the Saturday market. and doing a double. So like have two people in the same booth to split fees with and like make sure that there's somebody there so I can go to the bathroom. And I know somebody in Eagle River who does some art, and I don't think that she's done markets before, but I think she'd be interested in doing them. So maybe... Oh, if you want to come hang out with me, Jess, that would be so perfect and like way better than any other option that I have. So I haven't like gotten all the way set up because I need to like order prints and stuff, so I need to think about that. But it would be, I think I want to add some more yellow to this. I think this is looking too brown. Let's do a little bit of these guys. Yeah, that's better. What was I saying? Oh, prints and stuff would definitely be the next stuff. Yeah, I have one that Trish uses, who I very much trust with this. She actually is supporting herself fully as an artist now. Oh my gosh, go to bed, stars. I love you, sleep well. Thank you for showing up. And you've been feeling crummy, so definitely get them sleeps. But you know how we could play the systems, Jess? You know how we could play the system? We could put in a print order together and get like an Uber discount. The place that Trish orders from does discounts as a whole and not just for like sizes. It's just like whatever paper you get, they do a discount and it applies. So we could just like double up. Do that together. If we wanted to. I think the most difficult part of that for me personally is going to be deciding what I want to get prints of. Because narrowing it down is... Making decisions is not my strong suit. But also figuring out what other people want. I've been threatening to do like a Tumblr tournament, like poll tournament for my own art to see, like read people's vibes about what of my stuff they really like and what they don't. And like on one hand, it's like self-promo and kind of weird and whatever, but on the other hand, it's something fun that people can do to support without having to spend money. Because like even if it's not somebody who has the money to buy from you, it's still important feedback, right? So I might actually take the time to set that up. Because even though it would take a fair amount of effort, I think it would be worth it to get that read on stuff. We need another color in the mushroom. What's the other color in the mushroom? It's just like a paler. That's a word. It makes sense. It's like this. It's like this, I think. Then go over that with some gray for gills, I think. All right, you can do it. You can do it, Jess. I believe in you. I need to do laundry tomorrow. I got all showered and stuff yesterday and realized that I'm out of my like house clothes, clean house clothes. And I was just like, this is a disaster. Please save me. Like, it's fine. It's fine. But also, oh my God, my comfy clothes. I have more of them too. Like, I know they're around somewhere. I just don't know where. I shouldn't be doing this with a brush. This is silly. This is silly. I also should do my sheets, which is always the worst because I am... No! Disaster. Not me almost saying disaster for Scotland like it plays in my head. I don't know why I pick up stuff from streamers so hard like that, but I sure do. That's the worst. I'm lucky and I live in a house with just my brother, so we can like talk to each other about it. Seriously, it plays in my head all the time. Disaster for Scotland. It's just like, what the hell are you talking about, Katie? If I actually said all the things that I think all the time, nobody would understand what was happening ever. Like, my brain is just a nightmare zone of mishmash of random sayings that I've picked up from various places. Hey! Are we like the same person? Have we like crossed alternate universes to be with each other? What's happening? Or is it just the Bean sibling energy? We call my brother Brother Bean. That's his official title. Oh, okay. Not here, not here. We have a little bit of difference then. Maybe you're from the alternate universe where my brother has a fiance. I don't know. Yeah, see, that's rough. And would mess with my head so much. I already am just like, I have so much trouble dealing with any sort of change to my schedule that I made up in my own head and didn't tell anybody about, that would just drive me absolutely batty. I can't speak to that for my brother, but I've been self-assigned with the tism. So I just heard him laugh. I hope that he heard me say that. I definitely have had more than one friend be like, "Oh yeah, you have the tism, don't you?" And I'm like, I mean, nobody said so officially. But yeah, there's something wrong in there. Oh yeah. I definitely have learned through internet osmosis. Exactly. That's exactly it. It's just like, okay, if I'm changing my schedule, that's allowed. If somebody else is changing the schedule that I made up and didn't tell any of you about, I need to have warning 3 to 5 business days in advance, and I need it in writing. And nobody seems to understand this, which is very rude of them, honestly, to not follow the rules that I made up and didn't tell them about. Like, how dare you? Ooh, that's nice. You got it, Shawnee. Thank you. Slippy sip. Slurp. Thank you. It's just, I've always been like that too. If anything's changing, I need a lot of time to process it. And the world isn't really set up for that. I do think I probably want to add even more yellow to this. I feel like it's still too brown. Yeah. I used to use a lot of vitamin E oil on my skin to help with scars and stuff. Yeah, for sure. I use a lot of jojoba oil anymore instead of lotion, just because I have a big bottle because I have stretched ears. And like, you can't really buy a small enough bottle for that. So I just use it for everything. I use it for my hair. I use it for my body when I get out of the shower and stuff like that. And I like it. It smells nice. It's not like overwhelming or anything.
In the land of plenty, we don't know what the word no means. Give it to me.
think those are starting to look pretty
all
good.
the things I want.
Oh, oh, poor laptop. It's just like, please save me.
Make me watch
That's what I
me
feel like when I
do
like wake up and
the
immediately feel guilty about something. It's like, oops, I left something running on in my brain.
all the
Oh yeah, for sure.
places that you
I
paid
love the
for,
hobbits
all the
because they're just like, let's
secrets that
stay
you
home
saved
and
for,
eat all the
all
time
the
and not let
nights
anybody
you
else bother
fell
us,
asleep
unless
without
we want to have a really
your
big party. And I
goodbye.
vibe with that hardcore. Although I
Coronation
also think
of
that I have an
pain
amount
to
of dwarf
shield
to
you
me
from
because I do like to
surroundings,
sit in a
to
pile of
think
shiny stones
they
where nobody can
gave
see
you
me.
the crown.
I definitely am down with that. I also really like facial hair. That's one of my greatest sadnesses is that I was born with the wrong hormone mix to grow facial hair. And like I could alter the hormone mix, but it wouldn't be the same. It just wouldn't be the same. Okay, I'm done recording that. That probably has given me enough content to make 10-second reels for a week. um,
So the crowd
let's
you
do
have
this
been
actually.
like a
Change my
movie,
mind.
like a movie. What's your story? What's the reason
I'll take it. I'll take it.
they say
Yeah, see, my mom
violence we want
kept
blood,
threatening,
we want
I say threatening, kept
give
offering
our
to make
love
me
all the
a
answers
stage
they
beard and
promise.
mustache with my own hair and never got around
We
to
want
it. But
laughter, we
that would have
want
been so cool.
pain. Everyone
She
will know
did
our
theater
name.
a
'Cause you
bunch, so
know
she
that
was uh,
nothing
she had a
stays
theater
all
degree
the
and had done that kind of stuff before.
same.
So,
Ooh,
yeah, there's especially in like what was it, the early 2010s when beards suddenly became fashionable again, there were a lot of guys wandering around with like the most atrocious things you have ever seen in your life. It was like a Brillo pad stuck to their face that had never seen moisture once in its life, had never been brushed, had never been cared for, and it was really sad. uh, it's just, please trim it. Please just trim it. Just trim it. Just trim it. I promise it will go better. I definitely jokingly talked about, well, half jokingly, talked about making a mail service where you could sign up your male friends with beards for a care kit that showed up once a month that had like beard oil and a beard brush and proper trimmers and stuff like that. Just because it was just such an atrocity. It's like beard war crimes. Never washed the dang things, and it was so bad. Now that that's mellowed back out, it's a little bit better. The people who were really into it finally like picked up the actual things you need to know about beard care, but for a while it was real bad. This was the same era with the mustache finger tattoos. Do you remember those? Where you just had like a mustache tattooed on the inside of your finger so you could hold it up to your face and it looked like you had a mustache. This is also when bacon chapstick was a thing. It was such a weird era for pop culture. Yeah, yeah. I was in college, so we had a lot of people with full-on tattoos on their fingers. And I always thought they were very funny. To be fair, anybody who was willing to go that far for the joke was definitely okay in my book. But there was just like such a weird obsession with facial hair all of a sudden. Yeah, yeah, you're like, I don't know. You know that saying, be the person that you needed when you were younger? It's like that, except we're the alternate universe. I feel like I should do more to these mushrooms, but I actually think they're okay the way they are, I say as I continue to work on them. I think they need a little bit more highlight, but other than that, I think that's pretty good. Spider-Verse, but for beans. The Beaniverse. I love this. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Okay. Let's see. A little bit of highlights in here. I'll probably go back over that with a gel pen because this will lighten up a fair amount when it dries. Um, but that's good progress. We can start on the bok choy after I finish this bit. And then we will be mostly done. I still do need to do the acrylic pulling for the background. We could do that today probably. That probably won't be too bad. Yeah, that's fair. That's fair. Self self-censoring is difficult. That gets easier as you get older, I have found. Maybe just because you have more practice. Or maybe just because I have let go of a lot of the filters that I don't actually need, so I'm only focusing on the ones that are actually important. Hmm. I also, I guess, am not as involved with other people in the same way as I was when I was younger, which makes a difference. Like, I'm much more online versus in person with people anymore, so. That's good. I need, like, highlight right through here, like that. Okay, I think that's acceptable. We can move on from that. Let's do some bok choy. Oh, my back hurts so bad. Doing the modeling is so fun, but it definitely takes a lot more muscle than you thought to sit still for 20 minutes. If you can't like shift at all. Fun fact, in case anybody was wondering. Okay, green time. Ooh, that's nice. There's a few places up here that sell like CBD lotion, which would probably be good for me if I ever like actually bought it. Oh, cool. Yeah. Do you want to drop a link? You can just throw it in chat if you want. I'm always down for checking out small businesses, especially ones who are willing to ship to Alaska, because they're the real ones. Although shipping has been like a nightmare to up here lately, for good reasons, in my opinion. But a lot of the ships have been uh, waylaid for reasons, good reasons. But I was actually talking about that with Lib the other day because I was like, oh yeah, the package of the stuff that I bought from them is supposed to be, it's like estimated to be delivered on the 10th, which is like a long time. That's almost a month since it was shipped. Thank you. I will check this out. Yeah. I will save that. Boop. Let's favorite that. All right. Oh, we were born in the same place. Weird little things. Ah, yeah, that's cool. I'll have to check this out when I'm not streaming. But good. The shipping up here really, like, it's always a nightmare, but it's been especially slow lately. Although we've got Amazon up here now, which helps a little bit in that sense, but also you know. But I had to explain to like a chat full of people what that you can like tell when there's been problem with the ships in Seattle. Because we just don't have any fresh vegetables in the store for like another 2 weeks. Just one of those, just little Alaska things. I think I probably should have done an underlaying of yellow on this instead of just going straight to green. But, oh, we've got a lot of cloud cover now. It's definitely going to start snowing. I did post a video of it snowing on my socials the other day. Just because I feel like people like looking at the snow. And I didn't really feel like editing another art video right then. So I've been so good with posting on social media. You guys should be proud of me. And I haven't repeated anything yet, which is a me thing and not really how you do social media anymore. But I don't know. I don't want to see the same thing 3 days in a row. Oh, cool, cool. Yeah, I grew up near Portland, Oregon, before I moved up here. So it's definitely like a nice area to be in. Similar vibes, Portland and Seattle. I love the beach so much. I miss the beach. We have beaches up here, like I'm near the coastline, but it's not the same. It's not the same. We have like mud flats that you can die in. We have rock beaches. We don't have like the nice sand beaches where you can go and freeze yourself in the water, you know? Because there was a little place where some of the family that I have, they own a condo and let the rest of the family use it. Um, and it's just this little seaside town that's really nice. I miss it. I miss it. But like I'm half ocean. I swear to God. I still have dreams about the beach like all the time, even though I haven't been to that same beach. Oh my God, it's been like 20 years. Oh my God, I'm so old. Coming to terms with my own mortality on stream. Let's go. But yeah, there's just a part of me that still lives in those salty waters that will freeze you to death if you stay in for more than 10 minutes. For realsies. Definitely like it's less like a core memory made and more like core personality trait unlocked. Ooh, that's too much yellow. Calm down. There we go. Just a little bit of yellow. We don't need it to be super dark here. Oh, somebody can't get up the driveway. I can hear it. But I had so many dreams about this one specific candy shop in the town that we used to go to. This was in Oregon, to be clear. But I had so many dreams about that I actually made a dream journal about it. Because I kept dreaming about saltwater taffy from this one specific shop we used to go to. And I'm still tempted to call them and see if they'll ship me some, honestly. Because it's just like so ingrained in my brain right now. And the dream journal I did for that was like months and months ago. Okay, let's see. Let's add some yellow in here before I add that other green. So we'll add some darker greens on top of this. Do you think maybe I'm making the stems a little bit too dark? I might want to lighten that up because they are kind of white near the ends. And now I'm just thinking about saltwater taffy. They also sell this candy called Seafoam. It's kind of like if the inside of a Butterfinger was just molasses, except it's kind of puffy. So it's got like air bubbles in it. It's so good. It's so good. And I don't know any place else that does that. But like, I don't know, having had my formative years in Oregon and then moving to Alaska meant that I had like a lot of foods that were essential to my state of being removed from me like immediately. Like C's candy, it was really difficult to get up here for a really long time, and they like wouldn't ship up here. And like a bitch needs molasses chips, okay? That's like one of my favorite candies of all time. Well, that's not really on camera, is it? Sorry. I don't know what this line I put here was originally meant to mean, but it's gonna mean now that this leaf folds over. I don't know if that's what I meant originally, but it's what I mean now. Use a little bit of smaller brush here and do some of this. I need to let this dry a little bit before I do next step. Do I want to lift up some of that? Or do I just want to slap white on top of it? I think I just want to slap white on top of it. Because I do think, if I'm remembering correctly, bok choy kind of has, well, maybe I don't just want to slap white on top of it. Maybe I'm just going to get it wet and lift some up. Bok choy does have like kind of the white stem area, which I have not left here because I'm brain dead today. That's why. There's also a summer camp that I went to as a kid that was like right on the ocean, and they also had a lake, and that's another one I still dream about a lot. It's interesting the places that you dream about and the people you still dream about as you get older. I was thinking about this the other day because I was dreaming about a guy that I knew in church. He was a little bit older than me, but we were in like the same youth group because it was a small church that I went to growing up in. That looks better already. And I still dream about him. I haven't talked to him in like 20 years. And I still dream about him, and I still dream about our church and that kind of stuff. The church makes sense because I spent a lot of time there, so it ends up being like one of the generic dream spaces that my brain pulls up. But I don't know that it makes as much sense for me to still be dreaming about this boy. I think what I need to do is just do some little swipies with some green in here. Hey, dream, and good night. Dream well. Huh? And I'll see you again soon, I'm sure. Yeah, I think that's better. I think I want to add... I promised bad puns. I promised bad puns on social medias. I did. I'm just living up to the promise. Oh, yeah. Ew. No, Bean. Hard pass. Thanks. I don't know. I do enjoy some people, but like in-person socializing has so much extra crap to it that it just... I'd rather not. Like I spent punish. That's good. I spent maybe 4 hours talking to people yesterday, like in person, and then spent almost all of last night freaking out about what I had said, which makes no sense. Like I didn't say anything super weird. I didn't say anything offensive. I was just being myself, which is fine. That's what I'm supposed to be, is myself. And my brain was just like, hey, we need to freak out about this and feel guilty for the next 9 to 14 hours. And I was like, can we not do that? Thanks. Let's not. The brain did not listen to me on that one. I don't know. I used to have like a lot more nightmares than I do now. Uh, I've been having more pleasant dreams lately, which is nice. But I think doing the visual dream journal project that I did really helped with that. Because I definitely stopped having the nightmares that I made those pieces of art about. So it definitely was a processing in a way that I wasn't expecting. Yeah, yeah, I feel that. I'm definitely better online than I am in person because online I actually have the space to remove myself if I'm getting overwhelmed or if I'm having just like a bad reaction to socializing, which is why I spend so much time on Twitch as I do, not just streaming, but also as a viewer, because it's like a really good level of interaction and socializing and having friends and maintaining friendships in a way that I'm capable of doing without overextending myself. Um, for a long time in my life, I was just incapable of saying no to people. And now I realize exactly where that comes from, and I've been working on it very hard. But yeah, definitely not for everybody, but it definitely works better for me. Because I don't know, I've always been pretty bad about um, making people respect my boundaries, and that's just because of how I was raised. I guess is the short version of that without getting too into it. Um, I lost track of what I was saying. It probably wasn't that important. I don't know, but Twitch has really been a big thing for me, um, especially when I was really depressed. I did kind of drop off the face of the Twitch planet for a little bit, which I have some guilt around because of people who weren't there when I got back. But it really allowed me a space to find people who understood who I was again while I was still trying to figure out who I was after coming out of this horrible spot in my life. So it's been very good for me. And I think anybody who, I don't know, disregards that as real friendship just doesn't get it. Do you think maybe I need to mellow these colors out a little bit? Maybe it's too green. I don't know. I'm your friend. What the fuck are you talking about, Grim? How dare you? How dare you? I think maybe these colors are a little bit too bright for wilted bok choy, but it's fine. Cam is also cool. I'm looking forward to being friends with Cam, who I can give a shout out to if I remember to type his username correctly. I keep trying to write the Weird Plague Doctor instead of that Weird Plague Doctor because he's the only one in my mind. There, go hang out with Cam sometimes. They did play Amnesia. They finished that, or he finished that the other day. I was there. It was great. He also has been playing Liza P, which is fun, and we get to make a lot of P jokes. So you should come hang out sometime. No, incorrect, Grim. Incorrect. I need to turn on notifications for him, actually. I keep forgetting to do that. Exactly. Watching him play Amnesia was pretty funny too, because When he gets freaked out, he screams real good. I very much am not a horror game person, but I love watching other people play horror. I'm sure I would also scream really funny, or I would completely shut down. Those are the two options. Maybe sometime if we do like an event and I have a computer that could handle it, I could put a goal as me playing a horror game. My brain is too active, like my imagination. So I get freaked out. I freak myself out more than the actual game does. Like I can't even play BioShock. Which is one of my favorite games, which is wild. Like I love BioShock. I love the entire series. It was like a hyper focus for me for a really long time. And yet I can't play it. I get freaked out too bad. I'm also not good at shooty games. Um, just in general. I don't have those skills. But I think if I was playing it with other people who were actively making fun of me for being freaked out, that would actually go better for me. I don't do well with combat games in general. That's just not my vibe. I think I've kind of lost all of my lines on this bok choy and we're just making it up now. I do a lot of Pokemon for sure. I was actually just looking today at how much Pokemon fan art I've done and it's like a lot. Like so much. I generally don't like being competitive. Um, just as like a general rule, I'm not really into competition. I want us all to win. So I do much better with like collab stuff. Or stuff that I don't have to play with other people because I'm really a hermit deep down. Ah, yeah. That makes sense. My brother doesn't really do a huge amount of shooty games either. But I do love a Kirby. I do love a Kirby. For sure. The light has gotten so dark. I think I should up the brightness here. Unless you guys think that this is good, and then I'll leave it. Let me know. Yeah. I don't have to avoid the day star up here mostly. It avoids me. That's how important I am. It's the sun avoids me. Yeah, I did watch Grim play a fair amount of games that I would not have been able to play. I just don't have those kind of skills, and I'm not particularly interested in developing them. Yeah, Grim is a bun. So, yeah, I do actually do a lot better in summer when we have more light. And partially because I have good blackout curtains, so I can just ditch it if I want to. Yeah, Grim also lives in the desert, so they have a different relationship with the sun than many of us do. I feel like these are just getting so muddy. I need to let them dry before I keep messing with them. I was going to change the camera settings. That's what I was doing. Yeah. I'm just going to lighten this up just a little bit. Just a little bit. There-ish. I think that's better. I feel like you can actually see stuff. Hooey. Did you know that I'm sore? Have I mentioned that yet this stream? I don't know that I did. We were just talking about how we're Hobbit people earlier, Grim. We were just talking about it. Yeah, Alaska sun is so weird. The amount of change that the angle makes from like one day to the next is like huge, for sure. I do find that as I'm getting older, I am getting more sensitive to lights, which is frustrating, but I guess I get it. If I was my eyes, I'd be tired too, you know? My night vision has been getting better now that I'm keeping all the lights off all the time. Because you know what? Neurodivergent gang hate that ceiling light, right? Ceiling light is our enemy. Oh, trust me, Bean. It's just gonna get worse. Which is the worst. My hips have been bothering me since I was 15, and they only get worse, and it's so awful. I hate it. You kind of need those to rock around the hips. Um, bastards. Yeah, ceiling lights, no thank you. Yep. Oh, you do love ceiling light. Okay, okay, fair, fair. I have it's like a happy light alarm clock. So it's basically a lamp that I use instead of the ceiling light. One of mine too, Bean. I've had to do that since I was 15 and nobody believed me. But now it's causing me major problems all the time, which I really should go get checked out again. I'm pretty sure that I have partially dislocated my left pelvis, and that's why I've been having so many back problems lately. I don't think that it's connected to my coccyx the way that it should be. Which is fun. That's fun for me, and so comfortable. I love it. Not. Oh, that, yeah, both of those could mess with it. And yes, I did say coccyx. Do you want me to say it again? Do you want me to say it? Coccyx. You're welcome. Um, one of the things with any sort of birth control, because I was also on, I had an Nexplanon implant, which messed up my teeth for one, but also one of the things with estrogen is that it messes with how your connective tissue works, which is awful and can also cause more problems with like your hips or any of your joints and stuff like that. Stretching, you got it, Shawnee, thank you. Oh God, that was my shoulder. I don't know if you heard that. I'm a little sore today. And hydrate. You got it. Right after I finished stretching. Ugh. I did do something smart with the modeling yesterday because I was just allowed to do whatever poses I wanted for like the entire class. So I did a bunch of stretches as my poses to start out. Because I was just like, I mean, stretching one is fun to see, and also I should do that, right? So I might as well be getting paid for stretching. Let's do it. Which I think helped. I'm not nearly as sore as I was before. Yeah, I've been able to crack my sacroiliac joint since I was a teenager, and I've stopped being able to do that on the left side, which is why I think that something's wrong. So, I was saying something else and now I don't remember what it was. Probably not that important. Alright, Sippy accomplished. We're almost done with the electrolytes today, which means I go back to plain water. But I do actually feel better, so that's a good sign. And was probably what I needed to do. I should have had some last night, but I was so tired. I was so tired. Estrogen, yes. Hormone changes with estrogen specifically can mess with your connective tissue, which can mean that if you already have joint problems and connective tissue issues, it can make things worse because it will make things stretchier. Which is why generally you will notice that I am more uncomfortable and have more joint issues around my period, which I'm generally somewhat vocal about. And I didn't know that until Joy taught me that. Joy DeMora is just a generally cool person who also has been nerfed really hard by God. because otherwise I think she would have killed God by the age of 11. Um, yeah, Joy is great. She writes really good books um, that I attack people with all the time. She's on Tumblr as the Bibliosphere. She has reached a level of fame that is incredible and also perturbs her because she's so freaking funny. I'm going to put her website in chat. Um, her book, Hunger Pangs, also has an audiobook that's really good. So if you're an audiobook person, that's also great. And she's a big disability advocate. And she's been teaching me so many things. And I'm realizing that despite what people have been telling me my whole life, my body isn't actually normal. Um, but yeah, exactly. God definitely fired the first shot. And if Joy wants to kill God, I'll help her for sure. But she's a great person, and if you can support her, I highly recommend it. She has just a great writing style that really helped me get back into reading, and I'm far from the only person to say that. But her writing style works really well with neurodivergent brains. She has a specific way of formatting her books that makes it easier to track the words. And I could explain the difference between that, but I don't know that it's really worth it to do that right now. I can if people are interested, but Joy is very cool, and everybody should love and support her because I love and support her. But yeah, she did write 2 versions of her book. So it is a romance-based novel, so there are some sexy scenes. And yeah, so she wrote one version, which is the Fangs version that has all of the smut in it. And then she wrote another version that's called the Fluff version that has just fade to black scenes or just like a talking scene in place of the sex scenes. So that you aren't actually missing any content with the book, which was very considerate and cool of her. Are you guys dry? You're a little bit more dry. So yeah, very cool. And just a great advocate in a number of areas for a bunch of different people. And she has taught me so many things about how bodies work. Because I definitely, it's one of those things where I joined her Discord because I'm one of her Patreon supporters, and started talking to people about things that happened with my body, and they were like, and I was like, oh, okay, kind of a thing. So I definitely have other stuff going on. She also talks a lot about ADHD management because she can't be medicated because of her various health issues. So she has she has a bunch of stuff around that too that is very helpful and has helped me personally. So I cannot recommend Joy enough as a person and an author. She's killing it all the time. While God is actively trying to kill her much of the time as well. So it's very impressive. I don't know. I feel like I'm losing these bok choys a little bit, guys, if I'm being honest. Oh yeah, for sure. She just posted actually on Instagram too and her Tumblr the cutest freaking picture of her dog, Holly Mop, who we call Dr. Holly Mop because she has like trained herself to be a alert medical alert dog for Joy, basically. So she does like pressure therapy and stuff without ever having been trained in it. She trained herself to take care of her mama, and it's the cutest thing. And okay, I'm going to tell you guys the story of how Holly Mop came into the world, and I might legitimately cry about it because it touches my soul so deeply. So Holly Mop was a rescue dog who had been kept in a breeding farm for the majority of her life before she was rescued. She had never touched grass before. She was just kept in a cage to be a breeding dog, and that was all she was. She got rescued and landed with Joy and her husband, Mothman, or ETD, whatever you want to call him. And this poor dog was just so traumatized from her life beforehand, which like makes sense, right? This dog has had a rough life. And so she was severely underweight. She was just not a well dog. She has also hypermobile joints and hip problems from having been bred so often, and having to have birthed as many litters as she did. And so she landed with Joy, who is just like the warmest person for this dog in the world. Like, they were literally meant for each other. You can't convince me otherwise, because not only did Holly Mop have all of these similar health problems to Joy, she had tooth issues that they had to have removed and all this kind of stuff. But Holly Mop has now like settled into her home in such a great way, and with such people that respect her boundaries from her own trauma. And Holly Mop has just completely taught herself to recognize when Joy is going to get a migraine and alert her. Has started doing pressure therapy on Joy to help with her POTS. And it's just like so many little things that this dog has picked up because she was finally in a house that actually loved her. And it's just, oh my God, it kills me. It kills me. And so they have like a little, she's still kind of weird about walking on grass and stuff like that because she's not used to it. So she has some anxiety around that, around open spaces and stuff, which makes sense for sure. And so they have a little pram that they roll Holly Mop around in, and it's so fucking cute, you guys. It's so fucking cute. I can't deal with it. And sometimes you just see Holly Mop smiling, like they'll post a photo of her like just clearly being super happy, and I'll just start sobbing. Because I'm like, this little dog is so loved and she's in the place she was meant to be. It's so beautiful. Love does exist. It's just so freaking sweet, and I love it. And I talk about this on like every single photo that Joy ever posts of Holly Mop. I'm never gonna get over it. I'm never gonna get over it. It's just so freaking sweet. I don't know. I think I've lost the plot on the bok choy, but that's okay. That just needs to be a green thing. Grim, I am going to fly down there and slap you upside the head. That's what love is. I did actually make myself cry a little bit. I did warn you. I did warn you. It's just so sweet. Oh, why has it backfired? I do actually know where you live. Just throwing that out there. Yeah, and that's part of love, dude. If you're happy to see me because I'm gonna slap you, that's still love. Just saying. Okay, I've finished electrolyte beverage. We're on to plain water now. I should really add stickers to this water bottle. Maybe I just want to leave that bok choy as it is. Oh my gosh, it's getting so dark. This is the problem with the natural light. I was so excited too because it was so nice and bright. I was like, I don't need to worry about the lighting today. And then the weather decided to prove me wrong. I guess it is actually getting late, so we're probably getting into sunset, and I should have figured that out. I say late, it's 4:30 here, which is sunset time in Alaska, especially since we just changed hours. Let me open up this app that tells me, yeah, we're in golden hour right now. So the official sunset is in approximately 5 minutes. Welcome to Alaska! Yay! The sun abandons us. So, I could turn on the light, but I really don't want to do that, so I'm just going to boost the brightness up a little bit more. And then that's going to drive me nuts when I try to start up next stream, but that's okay. Just because my bet is that if I do that bright light again, I'm going to get a migraine again, and I would rather avoid that, which I think you'll understand. Yeah, I don't know about this bok choy. I don't know about the bok choy, lads. But I guess I'll just keep messing with it because I don't know. That's just who I am as a person. I did make 2 of these so that I could use only one if I wanted to. If I didn't like the way they both turned out, so that may end up being the actuality. Do you think I just need to add some texture with some different greens? And that will help. Let's do that. If we join arms, we can become more than one. My brain just short-circuited. I'll probably finish up these bok choy and then end stream. I have other stuff I could do, but I'm also tired today, so I think probably going to rest is the right answer. And I have actually streamed for a more reasonable amount of time than I have been, so. I do feel better than I did at the start of stream, which is a good sign. Yeah, I don't know that this is adding anything. Oof, that's too dark. Maybe to lift some of this color out, actually. I need to put a little bit too much on here. It's fine, though. I mean, it's bok choy. It doesn't really need to be anything. Oh, I need to remember to do something else today. I just remembered. I want to add the Cursed Carousel line art as another coloring sheet on my Ko-fi. Just because that's a relatively easy thing to do. So, because I did do the line art originally digitally before I transferred it to physical. I don't know if anybody really wants to color that, but it's free, so. And it doesn't cost me much extra work, so we can do that. I did also put up a free pumpkin carving stencil last month. I would like to do some more free coloring sheets. I think that's a fun idea. I also really need to get started on doing color and focus work. I do have ideas for those pretty well figured out, but I need to actually get going on it. But would I give my heart back on the way to tend the flowers that you bought? I don't believe I understand the question. Could you paraphrase and understate and throw away until it's what I thought? I think that's acceptable for bok choy. I think I probably overworked that way harder than I needed to, but that's okay. Life is like that sometimes, where you work too hard. I lost my train of thought just then. That's fine. It's one of those days, I say, as if it hasn't been like one of those years. I did order a new little ceramic cup for my paintbrushes because the mug that I have stuff in is like absolutely overflowing and it's driving me nuts. And that shipped, and I'm really excited about it because it's made by like a ceramic artist. So it's another small artist thing, and that's fun for me. So here we did meat today. It's mystery meat. It's probably pork, if we're being honest, from the reference image that I looked at when I did the sketch, but I don't know. We also punched out our chili flakes. So we got these done. I'll do the cutting at some point, maybe not on stream, just because I would like to be able to focus on it properly in a safe manner, which is not really a stream activity, I think. But I think next time we'll start working on one of my color and focus things. I have the paper cut for it and everything. We're gonna do a quilt square like this one that I did last month. So we're going to be painting the actual fabric patterns on the paper, and then I can cut those and sew them together. I also have a design in mind that I need to solidify a little bit more. We might work on that too. Because I wouldn't mind some extra input on it. Because I want to do a little kind of a terrarium in a jar design with purple stuff inside because the color of the month is violet this month. So yeah, I know that I want to do some crystals. I think I want to do one of those purple edge succulents in there. And other than that, I'm not really sure. I've been thinking about it and haven't landed on anything. So we can brainstorm and work on that next time too. So I'll be live again on Friday, and it will be the earlier time. We'll be in the morning. Yeah, do I have anything else to say? I don't think so. I don't think so. I don't know. Let me see who is live right now so that we can go bother somebody else. If it will load. Come on, buddy, you can do it. That actually worked. Oh, Lib is live. What? Why didn't I get a notification? I have my emails. My phone is not sending me any notifications today. Okay. I should reset my phone. That's the answer. We're gonna go bother Lib. They're doing a Pokemon thing. And we like Pokemon, right, guys? We were talking about it earlier. So I'm gonna switch over to the ending screen. And we will go do that. I don't think there's anything else that I needed to say. I think that was it. So yeah, I will see you on Friday, or if not, I'll see you the next time you're here, and I will be happy whenever that is. Take care of yourselves, be kind to yourselves, remember that you're loved, and if you can't take care of yourself for yourself, please do it for me, because I think you're neat and you deserve nice things, and that includes from yourself. Even though that's hard sometimes, I get it. Let me actually start the raid. That would be a smart thing to do. Yeah, thanks everybody for showing up and hanging out and chatting. This actually woke me up a fair amount, and I'm feeling quite a bit better than I was at the start of stream. So that's very nice. Very nice. And yeah, I'm gonna go chill. And go sit with my heating pad somewhere probably. Yeah. I'm just gonna sit here and say yeah like a little bird 30 times in a row. Okay, I'll see you guys next time. Bye!